Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, you all. You are all welcome to the class tonight. But I need to confirm if you guys can hear me very, very well. Sound on good? Please, are we guys here? Are we guys here? We are going to start now. If there's nobody that is here, please tell them to join now. Tell them to join now, please. If any of your group member is not here, tell them to join now. Your group leader is not here. Go and drag him now. We're going to start in the next 3 minutes now. All right, so good evening, everybody. I really, you guys are all welcome to today's class is day 8, or I mean, which day are we currently? Is this day 8 or day what? I don't really know, but nevertheless, you guys are welcome, and you guys have been doing really amazingly well. So far, so good. We've done a whole lot this course. In fact, we've done, let's say, I think everything you need to know about automation. We've done everything for you. Apart from me teaching MCP, I think the only subtopics I have left that I haven't covered is MCP and voice AI agents. Then I've talked to guys rack. I think that's all you need. So so far so good. You guys have really um learned a whole lot. Like, and I've been amazed with all your results on the socials. I've been seeing all of your posts, all of your what's called tags on Twitter. You guys are really, really doing well for real. You guys are doing well. So I really love what you are doing. You guys are doing amazingly well. For those that are doing what they asked to do. But for those that did not do anything, you guys are not doing well at all. In fact, you are not doing well at all. And don't worry, very very soon we are going to separate the sheep from the from the remaining people. I don't want to say the rest, but very soon we are going to separate the sheep from the remaining people. So for those that have not been what's called doing what I asked them to do or doing assignments, I'm checking everything. You guys, I'm checking everything. So we've done a whole lot. I believe by now, save apart from you guys attending classes, like apart from me giving you guys assignments, I should have started seeing you guys building workflows on your own. Challenge yourself. See, one thing is, let me tell you something about AI automation that you guys don't even know. When it comes to learning AI automation, you learn more about AI automation when you what when you practice on your own. I'm going to tell you for the fact that everything I know about AI automation today, everything I've learned about AI automation today are what I learned while practicing, right? You are going to learn a whole lot while practicing and building your workflows. And one thing is I used to tell people is the more challenge you faced while building automation, the more you learn because those challenges will push your limit to learn more. When you solve a particular problem today, the next time you are building an automation similar to that, you will be able to remember, oh, I've connected this particular API before. I've worked on this before. It was so easy for you. You won't have to go through the stress of reading API documentations or whatever. So the more you practice build workflows, the more you learn. The only thing I can do is just to try my best, teach you guys, pour out whatever I know, and leave you guys in the hands of God. The remaining work is in your own hands, right? The remaining work is in your own hands. So don't wait till when we come to class. I give you guys assignment. Challenge yourself. Don't build complex workflows that is going to test your limits. Yesterday I was having a meeting with one of my mentees. So I was giving her a particular workflow that I asked her to build that particular workflow. I knew she's going to have difficulty building that workflow because she has never built any workflow regarding that, and it's about using AI automation to generate visual contents like all these AI videos, blah blah stuff like that. I know she has to study API, but why am I doing that for her? Because I want to test her limits. I want to know how smart she is, and if she actually build it successfully, I already have someone that I'm going to refer to her to build for that person. That means if she passes this test, she already has someone already waiting for her to buy that particular workflow. So, based on what I've been teaching you guys in class, prove, go out there, learn, build more on yourself. Try and build more, learn more, practice more and more, more and more, more and more. Some every Fridays like this, or sometimes Sundays, whenever I'm having my private section with some of my guys, I always challenge them. There's more, even though I always tell them that don't be obsessed with your tools. But one thing is in this AI space, bro, every day they released more and more updates. And the only way you can keep up is to study. Like, okay, now for myself, now I know I have people under me. I have private mentees that I teach. I have you guys that I teach. I have a lot of people I teach. I have organizations that calls me to go and train their staffs. I can't just stay there, sleep every day without studying, because I hate delivering half-baked knowledge. If I want to teach, I'm going to teach with everything I have. I'm going to make sure that I go extra mile and deliver everything I need to deliver. And how do I deliver if I don't study? How do I deliver if I don't study? Do you think if I don't study, I'll just come to class? This tech space. We, I know in this class, there are some spies that just come that are waiting for you to fail. Any small thing, take your story to Twitter. He's calling himself automation king, and he can't build a simple workflow. He can't do this, he can't do that, he can't do this, he can't do that. So the only way I can prove myself right is by constantly studying. Before coming to the class today, I've studied a whole lot. I don't do a day. I spend at least 3 hours. In fact, no matter how busy my day is, no matter how jam packed my day is, I make sure that I studied for 3 hours. I study for 3 hours. It's not even only building workflows. I check out what is happening in the AI space. I keep up to updates, watch videos, go through communities. What are people building? What's the latest updates? Last week, I think the last class we were building workflows. So some of you saying your code node is different, blah blah. It's because you are not keeping up to update. If you are keeping up to update, you know that anything just released a new version. I don't even know most of you, if most of you are even in any 10 community itself. So things like this will make you, if there's any recent updates now, how do you want to keep up? There's no how you want to keep up. So I'm urging you guys to please study more than what I'm going to teach you in class. Study more than what I'm going to teach you in class. I'm going to do my best to point the knowledge. In fact, I've done my best, because what I have taught from the beginning of this bootcamp to now is what people pay me to do. Is what people pay me to do. Is what some of my mentees, some of my parent students pays me to do. But you guys got it. That's why most of you are actually misusing it. Because we have over 400 students in class and only 40 people are here. But assuming you guys paid like 100K, to, go to academies. I can refer you guys to big academies that I know, and go and ask how much they teach automation. The least academy I've seen so far teaching AI automation is 50K. It's 50K. Over, okay, someone said 1K does. Recently, and what's called an AI company, AI Tech Academy reached out to me. It's not recently. I think it was 3 days or 4 days ago. Maybe they saw a whole lot of testimonials, blah blah stuff like. They reached out to me. Okay, they want to take a call. They want me to take some of their. Okay, we agreed. And so when I saw how much these guys are paying, I was like, bro, such a huge amount to learn automation, because the founder is actually is very very popular company. It's very 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 popular edtech but I won't mention their name because most of you I know might have applied for some of their acclaimed scholarship that they give to people, but it's not even scholarship because you still have to pay. So when I saw the amount the guys wants to pay, so I now while on the call, I asked them for their previous curriculum to check what they've taught. I was like, bro, even when I'm teaching my free classes, it's even more advanced than what you guys want to give to these guys at so amount. So you guys are getting at a platter of gold in because Tech Baby decided to give you guys this, and some people are misusing this. I don't even. Yes, sir. I know very soon we will separate the sheep from the goat. So for your group capstone project, I'm so sorry. Please, I'm so sorry. I've not been able to assign what's called your group project to you. But before that, please, all group leaders, I believe all group leaders are on this call. Now, the first thing is group leader, please. I'm giving you guys the permission. If anybody in your group mess up, tell me or miracle, kick him out. Yesterday, I saw someone reported someone to me. I saw the kind of stuff he's performing on the group. Like, are we here to play? Yeah, yeah, on the group, someone is trying to bring out something. You're not even participating. You're not even contributing. She's trying to make something to make sense, and you're there abusing her and ridiculing her. Do you think I don't even understand this online space? There are some people here that are very big. Just because they're in class with you, you think you all are the same. I I'm the type of person I respect anybody, no matter who you are. I respect anybody because nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. I respect anybody just because we are in the same group. I'm teaching you of stuff like that. There's no meaning you should ridicule. And please, whatever the guard you are going to give me, please give it to Miracle. Because that guy is doing a whole lot, but some of you are still not appreciating. Do you think it's easy to moderate a group of over 400 students? Do you know the amount of messages this guy used to receive every day on this boot camp? Yes, some people will go to her DM. Some people even be abusing her in the group. It's not right for you. It's not right. Whatever you regard you are going to give me, please give it to her. Please. Just because she's moderating I'm not paying her if you guys want to know. I didn't pay her a dime for doing this. I didn't pay her a dime. Yes, she's sacrificing her time. Most of you will even message her in the midnight. She will still reply you. Please stop what's called ridiculing her work, or some of you that don't even have manners at all. I was also pissed off this morning when I saw the message this guy was sending on the group. I don't even I had to remove him because what the hell? Do you I don't mean you even if you pay itself, does that even give you guarantee to talk anyhow to someone? In fact, some messages that Miracle will send to me, I'll be like, this girl, you're stretching yourself. Must you reply? But she will still tell me that I should reply, that I should say something. If it were me, I'll just look away. But she will still make sure that I even answer for your questions to my DM and still ensure that I reply. But yeah, you guys are still not are still not appreciating her. Please let today be the last time. I don't know who the guy is. I've been looking for his username on Telegram because I want to remove him from my community also, but I have not been able to get his username. And I know I'm going to get it. All right, so let's start today's class. Thank you everyone. I'm so sorry, this is not my usual self actually, but I was just so pissed off with what I saw this morning when I waked up. Like that's because they are big. You guys don't even know the power of networking. If you know the kind of if you know the kind of big guys in these communities, in this group, you think just because some people are in this boot camp just to upskill. They're in this boot camp just to upskill. Currently, I'm in a training right now myself. So let's just continue. In our last class, we talked about building what's called you guys showed on we talked about building an Gmail manager for what's called for if you want to build a Gmail manager for people. So that was what we built. I'm going to share my screen now. Oh, oh. So we built a Gmail manager in our last class, and some of you were saying you don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand. I don't know what you don't understand, though. Please, I don't know what you guys don't understand. So let me quickly brush through it. So I hope you guys can see my screen. I hope you guys can see my screen now. All right. So I believe everyone can see my screen. All right. Thank you. So in our last class, we built an email manager system, and I saw a lot of you telling me you don't understand, you don't understand, you don't understand. But I don't understand what you don't understand here, because I still believe this is a simple workflow everyone should be able to build. We all know why we built this email management system is because so many people receive emails and don't even have a time to respond to emails. Some people received up to 200, like all these busy coaches, entrepreneurs, founders, they get a whole lot of mails every day. Now, them sitting down, apart from hiring a virtual assistant to go through their mails, but we believe that this can actually help them sort out their emails. And even if we are sending an automated response, but it will actually make their work easier so that they will know, okay, which mail is important. Because now, let's say I got a mail, someone wants to make payment for a course. Okay, for example, I run a private mentorship group. Now, someone wants to pay for my private mentorship group, and I used to get a whole lot of emails on my what's called mail, like 500 what's called 500 mails, blah blah blah. And now, how do I go through? How do I know which one is more important? And I also get some emails of people trying to pitch stuff like that. How do I know which one is important for me to respond and which one is not important for me to respond? That's why we have this email manager, right? Now, I even further told you guys you can even further expand this workflow, that before sending this message, you can add another workflow that is going to send you to whether it's going to send to that person, whether to Telegram or to WhatsApp, that okay, you just got email so, and this is the content of the mail, and this is the reply I drafted. So when you sent it to the person, then the person can either approve or reject it, right? So the person can either approve the mail or reject the mail. And that's just how it works, right? So now, and it started with a Gmail trigger. We all know what a trigger node is. If you don't, if you don't know what a trigger node is, I don't think you still need to be in this class right now, because these are one of the fundamental things I've explained first before we going deeper. And for every workflow, it must either start with a trigger node or a webhook node. Every workflow you're going to build, it must start with either a trigger node or a webhook node. So we started with a trigger node and we use this information extractor. The reason we use this information extractor is because we want to know whether the person's name is in this email body or not. That's why we are using the information extractor, and we use the Gemini AI model for it, right? And we also want to use the if node. You all know what an if node is. It's a conditional node. If this happens, true, and if it doesn't happen, false. It's as easy as that. If the name is there, go to true. And if the name is not there, go to false. And we mesh the both inputs together using the merge node. Now, after merging it together, for us to be able to respond to the message, we need some stuff, some kind of input for us to be able to respond to the message. We need the intro, that's the personalized name of the person. We need the email ID of the person. We need the thread ID of the person. And we also need the body of the email the person sent. That's just it. And you use the text classifier. I explained to you how to use the text classifier, and also I explained to you guys how to build what's called the prompt for each what's called text classifier you're going to use. Right? If you have consultations, you write it there. If you have different, it's going to classify different tests. And what this test classifier does is that it checks the intent of the message that is coming in. Okay, this message that is coming in, what type of message is it? Is it a support message? Is it a business message? Is it a consultation message? And that's just it. It separates every message into their individual category, right? That's why we used the test classifier. And here we added the label to each message coming in before we now routed it to our AI agents to be able to reply to this message very, very well. It's as simple as that. You added a code node. Wow, why did I saw your video? Did I saw your video on X? I think I saw your video and I didn't even notice. You added a code node. Wow, really? Let me see. I didn't know. Let me check X. I didn't know you added a code node actually. More. To even check X sometimes. Notification was report. What's your username self? The automation guy. uh Okay. I can't. Okay, where do you add a code node? Okay, yeah, you added a code node after your edit. Wow. Okay, so why exactly do you added a code node? Oh, 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 what? Okay, acted as an HTML decoder. Well, but I didn't add a code node in mine, and I don't really see a reason why I need a code node as long as my edit field is working very, very well. Well, that's one thing about automation. He added a code node and he stated the reason why he added a code node. But me, from my own point of view, I didn't see any reason why I needed okay, my email input was okay, yeah. So it might be like that. The only times I use code node, in fact it's not even code node, is maybe when I want to personalize and emails, I want to add colors to sending emails. That's when I use the code node. When it comes to emails though, that's when I use code node for stuff like that. So that's just it. It works fine. Okay. So that's just it about this workflow. Now today we are going to be building another workflow entirely. Um sorry. We're going to be building another workflow entirely. So, what topic do we have left? We only have MCP and voice AI agent. That's the only two topics we have left. And then your capstone project. And I leave you guys in the hands of God. So, Okay, my emails. Yeah, you can actually use the code node if you want a well structured emails so that your AI agent can actually reply very very well. Yeah, it's possible. You can use the code node for it. So today we'll be building a what's called a new workflow entirely, and we are going to be building an HR agent, AI HR agent. Now, what this AI HR agent does is that it's for recruitment people, right? Now, so many HR recruit people, they get a whole of applications. Like for example, this particular AI HR was called I built it for one of the agency I worked for, right? So now there was a day we wanted to hire a virtual assistant for I think I posted it on even Twitter then. We wanted to hire a virtual assistant for the founder of one of the agency I was working with. So when we actually made posted it on online for people to apply, bro, that was when I knew we have. I'm sorry to say, VAs. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not attacking you guys. I'm so sorry. That was when I knew we had a whole of jobless VAs for real. Like some people were even offering a free work. I know free work. Okay, to get testimonials. Okay, that makes sense. But we had a whole lot of applications that was I because I didn't expect most people to really apply it. I was like, okay, where we even posted it to is not even a popular job board like that. it's not even a it's not even a popular job board that most people know. It's not even a popular job board that most people actually know. It's a very, very secret job board where most founders, most tech startups post for people to apply for jobs. So I don't even know how. Like I was like, okay, most Nigerians don't even know. Like because I don't see most people talk about this particular job board job map where people are apply for job. But I was so shocked to the number of applications we get. I was like, bro, so people they use this place also um to search for jobs. Like people they para out. Like bro. So we got a whole lot of mails. I was so confused. Even our founders was confused. Like how does he want to go through all these applications one by one? No, VA did not offend me, but I just believe one day um AI can take their role. So I was like, okay, how do we go through these applications one by one? How do we go through it? So the best thing we could do was to use an AI to analyze these applications. So now how we made these AIs to analyze this application was that number first rule was if your AI agent, if your AI if your what's called portfolio is not 8 years standard. I think I've talked about this already Sef, on this call. If your portfolio, your CV, your CV actually, if not 8 years standard, out. Yeah, even automatically disqualified. Yeah, out of the game. Then for those that submitted a website as a portfolio, we also code that what's called that HR ATS to be able to what's called scrape out all their website data and also analyze them. And if not what we need, they are also out. So it was really a complex workflow then. That was how we used. So now that made me realize that, bro, when it comes to applying for jobs, just pray that AI is not the one rejecting your job. Because number one, once your AI has rejected your applications and it's not what we want, it will just trigger and automatically send you a mail. And once you send you a mail, sorry, we are so sorry. I hate that mail in my life. Unfortunately, I hate that mail in my life. Don't even if I don't pass interview, don't even try to message me. Just just leave it like this. I hate mails, especially recruitments that will stress your life. Go through meetings, like bro. There was a time I did one interview. I did first phase, second phase, third phase. I even did the final interview with the founder, blah, stuff like that. After like that was already sure since because most interview I believe once I have access to the founder and I was able to prove myself, I already knew um, I have I have gotten that job. Like bro, I already know I was gotten that job. So after final interview, bro, I just saw unfortunately. I was like, unfortunately, I was just I actually said it in Yoruba. The fortunately, fine. I just said it jokingly in Yoruba, though we are that's one of the in the um AI freelance space, blah blah stuff like that. So after making me going through the stress of in fact, before you even apply, so they will tell you to record they will even told us to record 1 minute Loom video or whatever they are asking to record. After all those stuff like that, not telling me unfortunately stuff like I was also paying then, but I knew it's normal. National breakfast. So we moved on. So that's one of what's called some of the challenges most of these recruiters face. I prefer referral jobs. Thank you. I love referral jobs a lot. Like, just keep referring me. I don't remember the last time I applied. What's called? I go onto these job boards. It's only maybe I don't have a job in a month and I needed to hit because every month I have a target that I needed to meet. If I've not hit my target for that month, or if I have hit my target early in that month, so that's when I start. Okay, let me send cold emails now. I don't know. You guys should not come for me. I've okay. I don't think I really need to say this. I don't really use Upwork. I don't really use Upwork. I don't really use Upwork. Most of my jobs came from LinkedIn, um, all these startup community groups, Facebook. Okay, I don't think I really need to stay this safe. Okay, so that's just it. So exactly. So now today we are building a what's it called an AI HR ATX agent, but I won't really go deeper. I will just what's it called go through the what's called the process for you guys to be able to understand how to build these um Upwork no be die. Upwork no be die. Upwork really works well. And that's one of my what's called by God's grace, I've part of my financial plans for let me just let me just figure out. Upwork works for real. Upwork really works, but everyone has their own specialty. For real, everyone has their own specialty. I know someone who has made more than $100,000 from this AI space and have never used Upwork or all those freelancers.com. So everyone has what actually works for them. So, and I also have some people that use Upwork that have hit their 50K stuff like that. So everyone has um what actually works for them. So once you know what works for you, just stay on it, keep building till blah blah. So now we're going to build this workflow from scratch, an AI HR ATS agent. Now, how does this works? So this will also start with a Gmail trigger. Now, let's say I don't want to go through the stress of building a form, but let's say okay, I made an application is that okay, um please I want to apply for a job and okay I want to hire people now. I want to hire an AI automation specialist. Okay, so I sent out my mail that okay, whoever wants to apply, send your CV and your mail to my mail. So now what we need to do is to start with a Gmail trigger. That's what is going to start our workflow, right? Or message retrieve. And you all know what a Gmail trigger is. So now after starting with a um, Gmail trigger, now we also need to add a text classifier. Why do we need a text classifier? Is because why do we need a text classifier here? Why do we need a text classifier? It's because sometimes we might get maybe during the process of recruitment, you might get mails that are not related to job um, hiring or recruitment process, right? We might get jobs, we might get mails that are not related to job recruitment or hiring. And what do we do? That's why we needed a test classifier to what's called to help us to help us go through the content of our emails and check if the emails is related to what's called to job applications or not. If it's related to job applications, it's going to continue our workflow, and if it's not related to job applications, it's not going to continue our workflow. So now we've opened the test classifier already. And okay, first of all, let me start. Let me go to my Gmail and send email. So let me go to my Gmail. So let me go to my mail and send email. Give me some stars. Give me proof. Mhm. So let's start with a Gmail trigger. Let me send a rough mail and see. Um, let me send email to my email to Nexit Academy. Um, So, course inquiry. Hello, I want to make an inquiries about your case. So, I've sent the mail. I've sent the mail. So let me refresh my Gmail account now. So I've sent the mail. Here's the mail I just sent. So let's just go back to our N10 workflow. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry, sorry. I actually too going to stay awake most times. I'm so sorry. So so let's trigger our workflow and see. I've connected my Google account already. Which API is this? Okay, let me just text this. So now we've gotten what's called. Hi, hello. I want to make an inquiry. Blah 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 stuffs like that. So now we need to check the content of our message. So I'm just going to drag um the what's called that's the content of the email that we got. Now just because we got a whole lot of what's called notifications, maybe we get a whole lot of emails from people, right? So we need to what's called check the intent of the message coming in first before we continue on this workflow. If the message that is coming in first is not related to job posting or recruitment, it won't do nothing. But if it's related to job posting or recruitment, it will actually continue this workflow. So I'm going to add a category as usual. If you remember how we did it in our previous class, so I'm going to let's say use apply, and you can just find a description from it. So let's just say it contains job What can I use? What can I use? Job. What can I use? Okay. Let's say job application from a let's say from a candidate seeking a position at Nexit AI, right? So I'm going to be using this, right? So I can also use. I will now add another category. Don't apply, right? Can name it. Don't apply. Don't apply. So the description can actually be it does not contain a job application, right? So we can just add our chat model to it. So let's use the Gemini chat model. So I've connected it to it already. So can you guys see we have two nodes already? We have the do not apply and apply. So now let's test this particular workflow to know what it is. So the content of our email, is it apply or do not apply? So let me execute step. So now can you see the output we have? It don't apply. That means the email that actually came in is not related to job applications. But if it's related to job applications, it's going to what's called go to apply branch. Now, let me send an applications or what's called to it again that is related to job application. So let me send another email with my CV that is related to job applications. Okay, application for the position of an AI automation specialist. So let me just use ChatGPT to form my what's called my application. I'm not sharing my email on what's called because I have a whole lot of sensitive emails there. I need so let me just use ChatGPT. So I need an email body to send application for what's called to send application for the post of an AI automation specialist at Nexit AI. I know he knows me very well. He will write a well detailed he will write a well detailed email for me. I trust him. So okay. So now let me share it. So this is the emails I'm going to send. Hi, dear hiring team. I'm writing to formally express my interest in the AI automation position at Nezik AI with hand-on experience building end-to-end automation system using anything, make.com, Zapier, Airtable, blah, blah, stuff like that. I'm confident. So I can attach my CV. Let me see if I have my CV here. Do I have my CV on this? Let me check. You guys show them. Let me check if I have my CV here. I want to check if I have my CV on this. I have one old CV that I used. Let me check. Is this the original CV? You guys show done. Let me download my CV. I need to attach a CV. Let me go to Google Docs. I have a CV. I have one CV I used to use before. Let me just download the CV. So you guys should hold on. Let me see my CV. Where's my automation CV? Okay, I have my CV. So this is a CV I've used before. So let me just download this CV as a PDF. All right. So I've downloaded my CV already. So I'm just going to attach it um to this record, to this email. Now, before sending it, there's a mistake with it. Since we are going to be attaching a document, we need to go back to our trigger and add an options to record. Wait, hold on. Because we need it to what's called to attach our file. Okay. You guys showed that I'm coming. I don't know what's happening. Please, can you guys see my screen? Wait, just don't freeze. Okay, so now let's go back to our workflow. Like I said earlier, there's a mistake we did earlier. We're supposed to add it to be able to fetch out our attachment. So I'm just going to off this simplify. So once I off this simplify, I'm going to add options to download attachment. And I'm going to okay, sorry. So I'm going to add options to download this attachment. I'm going to open it. So that's just it about this. So now this is the email. So this is the email. So let me just click on send. So I've already sent it. So let's wait for it to get delivered here. So then I'm still waiting for it to get delivered. Let me just refresh. Okay, so we've gotten the mail application for the position of an AI automation specialist. So let's trigger this workflow again from the beginning. So let's execute workflow again. Let me change this thing. So let me just drag it. So this is the email body. So let's execute. So guys, can you now see it came in as apply, right? Before, before it came in as don't apply, but now we have it as apply. So that means it's what it's actually. Oh Jesus! So I've triggered this workflow already. and it came in as apply. This is the message we sent. Can you see? This is the message we sent, and it came in as apply. This is the what's called email, and this is my CV. So now we already have the apply node as already. So now we need to use the switch node. Now, why do we need to use the switch node? Because we want to download the attachment. That means if this attachment exists, it's going to download the attachment. And if the email body does not have an attachment, it's going to continue the workflow. That's why we are using the switch node. If it has an attachment, it's going to what's called continue. And if it does not have an attachment, it's going to what's called route it to the what's called the AI agent, right? So now let's continue. So let's use the switch node, right? So I need to know if you guys are following me. You can't see here. What are you not seeing? My screen is visible now. Okay, my screen is visible now. Okay, okay, okay. So someone is asking me what's the difference between the if and switch node. I think I've explained this already in our previous classes. But okay, the if node, you actually use the if node if you want to check whether one condition, or you want to split the workflow into a true or false part. Like for example, if this is this, you use this you switch it to if, and if this is this, you switch it to part. So in the if node, you either have what's called true or false. That means you are checking a single condition, and that's just it about uh the what's called the if node. Now for this switch node, you only use switch node when you want to evaluate like a feed against I think multiple values. So let's say you have a case study, a case one, a case two, a case three. That's when you can use the switch node. Or you want to have a multiple branch logic. That's when you can actually use a switch node. Like for example, if I'm creating a support agent. Now I can use a switch node whereby if the message intent is billing, it actually goes to billing. If the message intent is technical, it goes to technical, blah blah stuff like that. So that's just the difference between. So that's just difference between the switch node and what's called the if node. But I don't really think we really need the switch. We really need the switch node here again. But if you really want to use it, you can still use uh the switch node. Okay, I'll get back to you then. I'll get back to you. You guys just hold on. In the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'll reach out to you so I can know what you can do. But for now, you guys just continue with what you have to do. Okay, so guys, I'm back now. Can you guys hear me clearly? Sorry, I muted my mic earlier. I was on a call. A call came in. But can you guys hear me now? Hello guys, can you hear me? Okay, now. So now for this our particular workflow, the reason why we want to use a switch node is because maybe we need the Google Drive, what's called the link to the document. We can actually upload it to what's called to our what do I call it, to our the link to the what am I calling the link to the file. When we want to upload the link to the file, we can actually use the switch node. That means we're having two different parts. We are having the extract attachment, and also we are also having the link to the file, which we are going to use to upload to our what's called our Google Sheet or whatever CRM platforms we are using for this what's called for this what's called for this particular workflow. So now for this switch node, now we're going to be using rules, and what is the name of the document, which is the attachment zero. Can come here back to the schema. So this is our inputs data already, blah 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 stuff. Like that. So we are using the string which is exists. So then I can also add another routine rule. Just copy, since we are having the same name, just copy it, paste it here. All right. So just copy it, paste it here, and string exists. So that's it. So let me execute step. So we have both output one and output two. So for our output one, we want to extract the file data. That means we want to extract all the documents and convert it to text, right? So we are going to be using the extract from file. That means we are trying to convert PDF to text. So extract from PDF and input binary feed. So now, what is the name of this attachment? It's attachment zero. So I can just put attachment zero there. So we are extracting from PDF and we are converting it to document. So let's execute this and see what we have. So it has successfully executed all everything about what is called about the CV. It has converted all these whole documents to a text. So sorry. So this is everything you need to know about my CV. My name is Jokoto Imani. I specialize in automation. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 stuff like everything about my CV from down to toe. So it has already converted everything about my CV to a text. That means it has converted it from PDF to a text. Now, what else do we need the switch node for? We need it to because we want to upload these attachments to our Google Drive, right? So that we can have access to the link of this what's called the particular document in case we want to view it um later on, right? So I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. I'm going to go back to Drive Google, sign in. So I'm going to sign in with the Next Academy Drive. So I'm currently in the Next Academy Drive. So I'm going to create a folder for it for this particular what's called. So um let me name it recruitment folder. Recruitment folder. So I've named it recruitment folder. and I'll successfully name it recruitment folder. So now we want to upload uh, this. How are we able to get the binary file? We're able to get the binary file because it started from this Gmail trigger. Just come back to your Gmail trigger, and there's an option. Now you have to turn off this simplify so that I can now if I turn on if I turn it on, can you see I have nowhere to add options. But if I turn it off, I have where I can add options to download attachments. I'm going to turn it on. So whenever anybody sends any document and it contains an attachment, it's going to automatically download the attachment. So that's why I used what's called, oh Jesus, I'm not sharing my screen. So that's why I used was let me come again. I think I didn't share my screen earlier. You come back to this. If you turn on now, automatically, this is how the Gmail trigger is going to be. But you have to turn this off so that you could have access to the options where you could add for it to be able to download the attachment. So I'm going to turn it off. So then scroll down. There's where we have add options, download attachments. I'm going to turn it on. So whenever anybody sends any email containing an attachment, that's why Westcode is going to route it here. So now we've already routed it and we've converted our binary file to a text. Now we also want to upload that binary file to our Google Drive so that we could have access to their CV anytime we want to view it. So I'm going to go back to the Drive node, Google Drive. Sorry, um Google Drive node. Go back to the Google Drive node, and we are going to be using upload a file. Select credentials, create new credentials. Jeez, I have to go through the stress of OAuth2 again. What do I do? I don't want to go through the stress of OAuth2. Okay, let me just go through the stress. But I don't want to go through the stress of OAuth2 again. So are you guys following me? So now we have to go through the stress of OAuth 2 again. But I don't really think we really need to go through the stress. I don't want to. I've not. This is a new account. I don't want to go through the stress of connecting API again. I'm tired, bro. So I'm at lost Google Cloud Console. You guys should. Then let me just go to API and services. I'm coming now. So I'm trying to connect our Google account again. Let me go to credentials. API key for anything. I think this one is active. Let me just copy the key, close it. So come back to anything. Let me share this tab. Come back to anything. Place the client secret. So let me go back to API. I think I've taught you guys on how to create what's called your API account. Let me, I need the client ID also. Yeah, show them. Let me create another new API key. I'm coming. Okay. Let me just copy this client ID. Yeah, should come. Let me copy it, paste it. Let me save. So now let me go back to my OR2 and let me come back here I want to add Nexit Academy as I think it's in the access. Okay, I think it's in clients. What? Let me find right now. Okay. So let me add text users. So let me use Nexit Academy at gmail.com. So let me save it. So I've added part of what's called as part of the test user so I can have access um so I can have access to the app. So let me just sign in. So invalid clients. Okay. Don't do with you. You guys should calm down. Let me sort. I hate this Google API stuff, Charlie. Wait to. Wait, let me just create a new. Let me, let me delete. Let me add client secrets. So let me just copy it. Let me paste this. Let me copy again. This thing is going to stress me this time. Just so let me sign with Google again. Continue. So I've successfully connected our Gmail account with what's called. So our Google Drive account is connected, and we are trying to what's called upload a file. So what's the file name? I can just name it attachment zero. Where is it, safe? Sorry, let me execute this step again. Copy it. Folder, which folder will? What again? I've connected my API now. I should check my credentials again. Ah, this is Google and their all auth verification stuff. Continue now. Continue. I've connected it now. So why are we having issues? Hold on. Sorry. Let me delete this again. If this Google Drive is going to give me issue, I'll just go on with this workflow without uploading the documents in the Google Drive. Because I have a lot of things to do. Okay, I've not activated the sorry, I've not activated the what's called the drive. Oh, I know why. I've not activated the drive for what's called because I'm using a separate email. So that's why it's not working. I've not activated the drive for this. So that's exactly why it's not working. Can you guys see? I've not enabled what's called the Google Drive already. That's exactly why it's not giving us. So that's exactly why it's not giving us these things. What's called the uploading. So let me just enable it. But I'm just going to cut over all this stress, and maybe when we are done now, we can come back to it because it's just loading. So let's just continue with this. Let me just cut out this thing. So come back to this. So now after we've extracted what's called our file, we've already extracted our file. So what do? We need to what's called route it to our AI agent. So we need to train our AI agent for it to clearly understand. Please, I really need to know if you guys are here. Can you guys hear me very well? All right. So now we need to tell what's called the AI agent. I can even since we are not using the Google Drive again, but we can still come back to it to use the Google Drive. But if you still want to use the Google Drive, you can use the switch node, then go through the connection of a whole of the stuff. But I'm not going to go through the connection again. Let me just scrape this out and just go through this direct. Hold on. So I'll just route this one to our AI agents. So search for AI agents. So just search for AI agents. So now, once you search for AI agents, you're going to remember what we used to do. I think all these things should not be new to you. So yeah, this is the user message. That's um what you want the what's called the AI to analyze, which is this particular one. So I'm going to give the AI agent this is what I want you to analyze. That's the CV of the person. Remember, we converted the person's CV to a text. That's why we are using the extract binary. That's the extract PDF to text. We've converted that person's PDF already to text, right? So that's why we are using this. Now, for the prompts we are using, we are going to go to ChatGPT again for it to actually what's called develop a prompt for us. So I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and tell him, hello, I am the founder of Nexit AI Academy. So I need to hire AI automation specialist, and I already have and I already have and I already have tons of applications of people that applied. I want you to act as a top tier HR personnel in the AI space, hiring AI talent for AI agencies. The role is to go through the resume of the candidates and analyze their resume very well and check if they are fit for our organizations, right? So now I can even go further and tell what's called what Nexit AI is, and tell him about what's called about everything about Nexit and everything they need to know about what's called about Nexit. I need to know if you guys are actually following me. All right. So I need to tell him more and more about. Let me just. I'm trying to cook up what we can actually what we are trying to um what we can actually use. So let's say for our organization and scoring them from 0 to 10, and also what can I use? What can I use? I'm thinking of what else I can use. So we also need the scoring them from 0 to 10, and also their experience from um 0 to 10, right? And also um their what's called their background from 0 to 10, and the overall score from 0 to 10 also. And what else can I add? What else can I add? Um, it can also what's called give us um, okay. It can also give us a summary about about give us a summary about their resume, and also the final judgment. Let me use judgment. And also the final judgment if they are a good fit for our organization. So I need a well deep system prompts to train our HR AI agents. So we will be having different different outputs, right? And break it down. So let's see what ChatGPT has for us. So let's see what ChatGPT has for us. It's currently thinking. You're still thinking. Yeah, a top tier HR. Okay. So it's still bidding. Okay. So ChatGPT has what's called giving us uh what's called a prompt. Let me just copy this prompt and paste it to our AI agent. So uh, we need to add a system prompt, a system message, switch to expression, expand it. So this the what's called the system prompt we are going to be using for this AI agent. So I generated the system prompt what's called um using ChatGPT, right? So now I need to include I need to include CD extracted um candidate document resume here. So we are going to drag the candidate resume here. Just drag it. That's one we converted. Just drag the node here. So we've already dragged the node. Stuff like that. So now, what else do we need to add? We need to add our chat model. We need to add our chat model. But I really need to check out the output first to know whether we're going to be using a structure output parser or we are not going to be using. So let's check, let's text first and see what we have. Are you guys following me? Oh? So let's test and see what we have. Candidate name, summary. Let's see. So now that means we need an output parser. Why do we need an output parser? Because we want what's called um to give us a well, what's called, how do I want to put it? We want it to give us a well, or what's called a well, um a well feed that we can actually separate. Now, I can actually use a code node also if I don't want to use an output parser, right? I can use a code node for it also. But okay, let's use a code node if you don't want to use an output parser. Let's use a code node. So let me just paste this to ChatGPT. Paste it back to ChatGPT. Um, I want to separate the field so I can also upload it to our CRM database. So here's our output. So I can upload it to our database. So I want to use a code node. I don't want to use a structured output parser. You can actually use a structured output parser. You can use a code node to what's code. But I love using code node. Code node is going to give me a what that redirects what I need. I want to use a code node to separate each field into different schema outputs. Here's my output. So let's see what we ChatGPT has for us. So you can see some people, like I said, you can see some people what's called use a structured output parser for it. But um I decided I want to use a code node from it. So this code node is going to separate everything into a different field for us. So I'm just going to copy this code, come back to here and use the in JavaScript, code in JavaScript, and delete this one and paste it. So let me execute and see. So guys, can we see? Have you in ChatGPT? The code is not the code is not correct too. That's why I like using cloud. ChatGPT code sometimes is crazy. See the rubbish this guy gave us. See, see the rubbish ChatGPT code gave us. So I love using cloud. I hate using what's called ChatGPT for. I only use ChatGPT for my prompting. So this is the output ChatGPT gave us, which is very crazy. So I love using what's called um cloud when it comes to code. ChatGPT code is sometimes very crazy. So let me just create a new chat. So hey, s- so this is my cloud node. Hey, I need a code node to clean my data and structure it very well for easy mapping to my CRM or Google Sheets CRM on it anything, right? On anything. So let me just come back to ChatGPT. Let me copy what I gave that stupid ChatGPT. So let me copy the code. Here is it. So I need the data to be cleaned and separated to different fields. So let's see what Cloud AI will give us. I love Cloud when it comes to coding. So let me just copy the code and let's come back to our NA10 and delete this the code ChatGPT give us. So let me just paste it to here. So let me execute and see what we have. Wait, hold on, hold on. I need to see what the output. Is it qualified? So is it qualified? No. Process dates, question counts, stuff like that, blah blah. Has red flags, zero. But this still not what we want. Okay, overall score is zero. Why did AIs? I don't understand. Okay, wait to summary, blah blah. Experience score is three. Okay. Okay, I think we still need some corrections in what's called in our code node. We need to inject this data into this particular what's called. We need it to reference this particular data. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of this and sorry, I'm just going to take a screenshot of this particular work and tell it this is the input so that it could give us a uh, a well this is the input. So to give us a well structured node that we can actually what's called. So it's going to update this field for us. Yeah, I love Gemini too. I love Gemini, but I don't really like ChatGPT when it comes to coding. So let me just copy this. Um, so can you see we already have a well cleaned data now already using the cloud coding stuff. So let me so the candidate's name is Jogoto Emmanuel. The experience score, background score, overall score. So what's the candidate summary? Jogoto Emmanuel present as an operation manager. This is my former CV actually, digital marketing strategist. It claims of specializing in AI automation, blah blah. Recommend seniority unclear. Recommend track unclear. Final recommendation, ChatGPT, the craze. I'm not a fit care. You don't check my order, you know I'm not a fit. So he actually checks through my CV and actually determined that I'm not a fit. So that means I'm off. So this is actually my old CV actually. I don't even have a CV now. So this is a CV that I've used for years ago. So what strength one claims expertise in blah blah. Demonstrate understanding of business outcome for automation. Strength four. Strength combine. So, what is the gap? One, lack of variable details, hand on project description for building complex automation. So, this is the reason why he said I'm not fit. Absence of technical fundamentals, blah, blah. Okay. The tools listed on our core competence Canva. contradicts the automation tools claims in the summary. Okay. So okay, what's the red flag number one? So what's the okay, we've noted this. So what's your final what's the final what's called? Do I require follow up? Because what's the final rejected? So that means my CV is rejected and boom, it doesn't need to it doesn't need to continue. So that means AI rejected this CV. So now let's say I want to interview that person. So it actually gave us the question we could ask him. Okay, can you please clarify the start and end dates, blah blah. Can you provide a detailed walkthrough? Now, even if you want to interview that person, right? If you want to schedule and interview that person, this workflow has already given us the questions we are going to ask that person. Okay, like this question now says, could you discuss your understanding and practical application of technical concepts such as REST APIs, JSON parsing, authentication, and any other scripting stuff like that? So these are questions that might ask in what's called in um doing what's called doing how will I put it? So during interview, so all these things now we already have all these things now. So what do? We need to create a Google Sheet, right, to store all this data that we just analyzed. We need to create a Google Sheet to store all this data we just analyzed. So what we've done so far is we feed in our resume, and ChatGPT said we are not fit. Okay. Does anyone has is okay? You guys are still new. I would have said someone should send a resume to my email to check if they are fit. But the resume we uploaded from my previous, I have the resume I've used then when I was still doing 9 to 5. So he said I'm not fit to be employed by Nexit Academy. So guys, can you see why most of applications are being rejected? Like this AI now is very, very strict. How will you tell me I'm not fit? It was even was if you check what's called the data we have here, the final recommendation, where is it, Self? The final recommendation rejected. I'll never be rejected in life though. But he was rejected. That means his enemy is rejected. But in case if it requires follow up, so also is he qualified? No, he's not qualified. So that means if any HR person is going is has this what's called this particular AI HR agent, he doesn't need to go through the stress of what's called of going through manuals of applications. Anyone that the AI agent has rejected, boom, what's he learn here? He's not going to qualify that person. So that means that person is not qualified. Anyone the AI HR ATS person has rejected is not qualified. So now this will give the HR personnel to focus more on qualified candidates. Now imagine you have over 800 applications, and out of 800 applications, AI HR has already helped you sort out applications and rejected like almost like 500 or 600 people, and you only have left, let's say, 100 people to focus on. Now, out of that 100 people, you can even still analyze that. Okay, those who their final score is not up to, you can is not up to 7 off. That means you can even look, okay, those who their final score is not up to 7 off them off. Then you can now focus on those who their final score is from 7 to 10, and you can actually interview them. And it has already even made our work easier by preparing interview questions that we can ask these people. It's as easy as that. No stress, nothing, nothing. Lobatan, right? So now we can store this in our um, Google Sheet. So let me just create a Google Sheet. I'm going to log in, sign in. Hold on. Next Academy. So I'll you guys left, guys. Where's my attendance? Me took attendance. So now this is a Google sheet already. Okay, I'm actually using what's called the Pro. I'm using the Google Pro stuff like that. So I don't even need to go through the stress of creating. Let me just use Nexit recruitment. So let me just use AI to create my column for me. Oh Jesus! Oh, this is not my what's called. I don't have a pro account on this one, but I think it should work. Okay, I don't have a pro account here. I don't have a pro account here, so that's why it's not going to work. But assuming I have a pro account here on this particular was, it should actually work. But I don't have a pro account, so that's why it's not going to work. So, but let me just go through the stress. But assuming I have a pro account on this particular account here, it should actually work. So let me just go through the stress of creating columns. So let me just use um candidate name, candidate name. So apart from candidate name, what else do we have in our fields? We have the candidate name. I need important information only. Candidate name. So um let's say um scoring. So I'm just going to create a random field for it. Let me use scoring. Um candidate summary. Candidate summary. Candidate summary. Then I can also use what do we have again? Um, so let me just add, is it qualified for the role? Is qualified for the role? That's the final judgment for this candidate. So let me see again. What else do we have? Um, so let me just use final judgment. Wait, it's not by force, it's just what I'm using. So let me just use final judgment. So I'm going to, I think that's all. So come back to anything. Come back to anything. So once you are back to anything, um, use the Google Sheet too. So use the Google Sheet too. So we are trying to append a row in a sheet. So you still have to create credentials for this one again. Sign in with Google, Nexit Academy, select all. So sheet append row. So I'm going to choose documents, Nexit recruitment, and the sheets. I'm going to pick sheet one. So it has automatically fetch out all the columns um, we have. So what is the candidate's name? Drag it and drop it there. This is the candidate's name. So what is the overall score? Now, for this overall score, right, guys, for this overall score, so I can just input everything here. The so let me just for this overall score, let me use road fit score, drag it here. experience experience score, drag it here, background score, drag it here, then the overall score, you can drag it here. So that's just it uh this this scoring. So now for the candidate summary, you can just drag it and paste it here. And is the candidate qualified? What is the final recommendation? Not a fit, right? That means the candidate is not qualified. And what is the final judgment? This is the final judgment. So that's just it about this. So now let me execute step. So it has successfully executed. So let's go back to our Google Sheet. Can you see? Can you guys see our Google Sheet? It has filled everything inside. The candidate's name, the scoring, the candidate summary, and is he qualified for the role? Not a fit. Final judgment, blah blah. So now this one we don't really need to go through the stress of voice code of like I said earlier, HR personnel don't need to go through the stress of checking CV by one. Once your final judgment is not a fit, they'll just focus on people that actually fit on this role, on this particular role. Now I want you to know that this one is a very, very hot offer. Now very, very hot offer. If you pitch it to HR people, HR personnel, especially people that used to recruit for companies, I promise you, they'll pay you for your time. I know someone that is based on this HR's automation only, and he makes a whole lot of money from it. Instead of you just being a generalist, pick from here, pick from here. You can focus on. I'm not saying that you should focus. I'm just saying, can focus on this, and that's just it. So that's just it about this HR AI ATS. It's as simple as it is. Very, very simple um workflow. So should we build another workflow? Or you guys are tired? Okay, before we even build another, do you guys understand? Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand? Today I wanted to build I want us to build two workflows actually today. But it's already 10 o'clock. I don't know. Some of you might be saying you're tired, but I wish we could build two workflows today. I want to build um a lead scraper. I don't know. Are you guys do you guys want us to do it? That can help us scrape out leads on Google Map. Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand? Okay, everything is clear. So are you guys saying we should build another workflow? So this another workflow we want to build is like okay, someone say next class. Okay, we should leave it to next class. If you guys want me to leave it to next class, it's fine by me. I'm actually very tired also. I want to call my baby. So if you guys want us to leave it to next class, let me know. Someone said next class. Okay, someone is asking me this question now. I've written a tweet or a thread on this thing. Assuming you are creating something you've not come across before, how do you know the right note to use? Very, very good question. Now, there are some times, guys, that um you would want to what's called you want to build a workflow for clients. Let's say a client, some clients don't even know what um they want for themselves. Now, how do you know that this is the process I need to follow to build this workflow? How do you know that this is the process you need to follow to build this workflow? Because most of you used to ask these same questions over and over again, right? How do you know that this is what you need to follow? Now, there's what we call workflow mapping, right? There's what we call workflow mapping. That is, before you build any workflow, you have to plan, you have to do what we call workflow planning. That means you need to know, okay, what exactly am I building? What exactly am I building? What do I want to achieve at the end of this workflow? What exactly do I want to achieve? Right? Now, where exactly is my data coming from? Once you've known what you want to achieve, right? You need to know that, okay, I've known these my aims and objective. Apart from using AI, think you are the one building this workflow, not AI is building this workflow for you. Apart from you've already known the aims and objective of why you are building that workflow, the next thing you need to know is, okay, this workflow I'm building, what exactly, where is the data coming from? What do I need? What is that thing that is going to start my workflow? Is it a trigger node or is it an API node? Am I receiving data from external place? The data I'm receiving, what type of data is it coming from? Right? So you need to understand what type of data are you are you building? Where is the data coming from? And also, what do you want to use the data to? What exactly do you want to use the data for? Because now there are some times when, especially when you're using webhook node and you're trying to get data from external, maybe like say like Google Forms, websites, stuff like that. Now there are some times when this data that you're coming that is coming in, that you really need to structure that data very well. Maybe you might even need a custom JavaScript code, or you might need to merge two data sources or stuff like that, or modify what's called a particular workflow. Like for this workflow we build now, we all knew that our workflow is starting with a Gmail trigger, and that's why we already okay. Now, for this particular, let me use this workflow as a case study. We are trying to build an AI HR ATS agent, right? And we know that this email we are using, we are not only getting emails about um recruitment only. We might be getting emails about, hello, I love you, hello, what is your application, hello, how can I study this? Now you need to understand that, okay, these emails I'm getting, how do I ensure that emails that is not related to recruitment does not pass through my workflow? That's when your thinking has to come into place, that okay, I'm this email I'm using, I'm using a Gmail trigger. And we know basically what Gmail trigger is does is whenever you receive a new email in your Gmail, it triggers this workflow. Now, how do I ensure that not every emails enters my workflow? How do I ensure that it's only emails that contains recruitment process that only enters my workflow. That's when we know that okay, oh, we really need to use the text classifier to know the intent of the message coming in and to know whether it's going to go into our workflow or not. Right? And also, you are going to know, okay, all this what I'm building, am I going to be needing a CRM platform? Where are my data going into? Am I is it going to Google Sheets? Is it I just different one? What I'm building, do I need an AI agent? Right? So now there's something I do tell my mentee. I do tell them a lot. Before building a workflow, Miro is free. Go to Miro.com first. Map out your workflow. See, if you want to build a workflow and you go to anything straight, you might actually especially when it comes to the only time when you see me go to anything straight is maybe I'm not building a complex workflow. But when it comes to me building a complex workflows that has a whole lot of nodes, I have to go to Miro.com first to map out my workflows. What node am so it's very, very easier for me. So that when I get to anything, I'll just know that I'm building. If you know you don't want to use Miro.com, get a pen and you have a journal or a book. Map out what you want to build. Okay, what is starting my workflow? After trigger node, what do I need next? Where is data going to? How do I where what function is do I want my AI agent to do? Map everything out using Miro or using your pen and book. So that when you get to building, you will not get overwhelmed. You will not be deleting and deleting and deleting because you've already planned your work. You already map it out first. Now, the reason why I don't advise you to use ChatGPT sometimes to what's called to build your workflows, or you can use ChatGPT to get ideas. But see, when it comes to building workflows, there's a place. There's see, forget about me writing code with prompting or blah 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 stuff like that. There's a place where you have to think because as an AI specialist, as an AI automation, you have to think. You are dealing with data here, and a single mistake can cost you a whole lot. So it's a place of thinking. Don't let AI decide for you. You be the one to decide for AI. Fine and good. I want to build this thing. I can paste it to chat. Okay, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to do. Check what ChatGPT gave you. Check it. Is it aligned to what you want to build? Then you can also expand. Now, there's something I also do after mapping out, after doing all those kind of stuff, blah blah. I also used to, but I don't do that. Most I don't even do that most times. It's only few times. I used to go to all this anything template library and check if there's anyone that has ever done something like that. Then I also check how did they do their own and compare it with my own. That's why the way they will do their own might will be different from my own. Now, this AI HR ATS agent that I built, if you see another person, it will just add a structure output parser and not add a code node. So we all have the different ways we think. We all have different ways we think. So now the only solution is plan your workflow before building, or else you will get overwhelmed. I promise you, if you plan your workflow before building, the only thing you're going to spend time doing is API and maybe all this when it comes to when it involves binary files, uh all this maybe you're losing your binary files. That's when you're going to have issues. But apart from that, I don't think there's anything that can stop you once you've mapped out your workflows. Because mapping out your workflows, you already know what will start your workflow. Okay, after trigger, no, this is what is going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen, and you're good. So I hope I've answered your question. I hope I've answered your question. Yes, you can use Miro, Miro.com. Miro, just search on Google, search for Miro. You can use it to go through. Any other question? Question, ask me question, ask me question. I didn't use student email to get any freebies. All my Google was called. I paid for it because I store. The reason why I paid for it is even apart from the API save, is because of the storage stuff. I store a whole lot of data on there on this Google Drive stuff. Anyone you want to use, I think I explained the difference between Open Router and Open AI. Open Router gives you access to use different API platforms. Creating a portfolio, creating clients. Yeah, that's the last thing we're going to treat after this bootcamp. Why must we add a chat model to all agents? This is a question sounds somehow. Why do we have to add a chat agent? Okay, if we don't add a chat agent, how do we want to be? We are oh god. We are building an AI HR ATS agent. We want AI to actually think for us so that we don't have to go through the stress of what's called of checking CV one by one. We want AI to make decision on based on what we have. It's not every workflow you're going to use AI agents. For those that are using AI agents are those that maybe that their need is more of customer support, AI stuff like that. But there are some workflows that you might no even 70% of workflows say you might actually need AI agents to get better output. Any other question? We are done. Should you guys said we should not continue? I wanted us to build another workflow. Ha! Someone was asking another question that I've already answered again. Please come back to this video and watch again. I've answered this question already. If you want to be the workflow, how do you know the note to use? I've already answered it already before. You're not me now. Shanu me. Yawa Tomon Bentley. I'm joking though. I don't know why you're laughing. You're connecting WhatsApp to your workflow. You're connecting. Where are you connecting? Are you using a third party API or are you using the Meta API? Melody. Is this Melody? Yes, Melody. Are you using a third party API or you're using the WhatsApp? We are using the Meta API. What are they asking? Yeah, you have to connect the WhatsApp business number now. How do you want? Okay, if you are using the Meta API, they are going to give you a text number. Actually, they're going to give you a text number. Go attend to your babe. I don't have a babe. Hey, babe, okay. I'm joking. I'm single. I don't have a babe. Babe, okay. I still dey look for money. I never get money. I never get money. Oh. Babe care. I want see money I go use. I want see money. I never get money. Oh. If you are using Meta API is going to give you Meta API is going to give you access to um what's called. They're going to give you a test number. The only time when you are going to connect a business number is when you are ready to go live. And before you even go live, save you are going to do verification. This you are going to record stuff like that. But they're going to give you a test number now. Meta will give you a text number. Let me even where's my Meta developer account save? Yes, exam, bro. You guys are having exam. I clearly forgot. Jeez. Should we do your exam? Are you guys ready for exam now? Are you guys ready for the exam now? Should we run it? The exam is ready. Should we quickly run it? It's just for 1 hour. You guys are lazy students. Ah, Mudara. I don't understand. You guys are lazy students. Ah, you guys can't. You can't be my mentorship group. Bro, go and ask my mentee. You guys can. You can't. You guys can. I can't mean. No. Tomorrow is church. You guys want to go and sleep. You guys are enjoying. You guys are rich kids. Hmm, hmm, hmm. You guys are rich kids. You guys are enjoying. There was a time I did a private section with one of my guy, and we started class from 8 o'clock. We built. It was one of the most complex workflows that we built, and we ended that call. I think around 1 a.m. or so. This is just 2 hours, and you guys are tired. 10 o'clock. I fell off soon. Go and sleep. Oh. Go and meet your husband. Go and meet your wife. Go and meet your babies, and enjoy your night. You still have a lot of work to do. Okay, there's no exam today. There's no exam today. For okay, attendance. Miracle, where's attendance? You guys should name post. VAP is for voice AI agents. And how do you even know? Okay, Mr. Oluwaseun Aguru, I know you always go ahead. VAPI is for voice AI agents, and it's not even only VAPI self that we used to use. We use 11 Labs, we use Retail, we use 11 Labs, we use VAPI, we use Retail, we use 11 Labs, we use Retail, we use VAPI. It's for voice AI agents. Yeah, we use 11 Lab for voice AI agents also. I actually love I what when it comes to automation, the one I love most is voice AI agents. I love AI agents, voice AI agents. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, we're supposed to build it today. By in fact, that I think that's the last class I went to do save. The what's called how do I put it? Our curriculum we haven't gotten there. We still have MCP. We haven't done MCP yet. Save. We haven't done MCP yet. So now the workflow I wanted to build that you guys didn't allow me to build, I'm going to give you guys as assignment to go and build it and submit it tomorrow. So what I wanted to be, I'm going to um announce it. I'm going to give you an assignment. I am going to submit it tomorrow. So what you are building is an AI lead generation for businesses, and I'll drop the assignments on Telegram for you guys to have access to it. Tomorrow is Sunday. Yes, I'm also going to church. I'll go to church from six. In fact, from 6 o'clock or 7 a.m. till 12 or 1 before I come back home. I'm also going to church. We should have a class tomorrow, Seth. We should have a class tomorrow. We should have a class tomorrow by 5. But I'm going to get back to you. We should have a class tomorrow by 5. Yes. We should have a class tomorrow by 5. But I'll get back to you guys. We should have a class tomorrow by 5. But I'll reach out to you guys if we are going to have it or not. Yeah. For the assignments, um, I'll allow Miracle to decide when you guys will submit. So she's going to decide. I hope she's on this call. Um, Miracle is going to decide when you're going to submit the assignment, and she's going to send it to you. So you decide when you're going to submit the assignment, and she will tell you guys. Yes, I know. I'm here with you guys. So I didn't go anywhere. I want to play something. There's one. I want to join a training. But if you guys wish to learn, you guys can stay and learn. Actually, someone said data na water. I'm actually using unlimited, so that's why. I'm using unlimited, so that's why.